Hello, I'm Candace Stewart Finley, and you're watching Empowered Whole Being TV. Welcome. This is my first broadcast episode, and I'm hoping to connect and talk a little bit about everything is energy. So, again, being my very first broadcast, I've been working on this project for a while to be able to broadcast simultaneously to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're watching, gosh, you know what? Send me a comment. The chat is available. I can see what you put in on the chat, and would love to have a little discussion about energy in general. The whole focus of Empowered Whole Being TV is to empower and to acknowledge that we are so much more than the illusion of our physical self. I've been studying quantum mechanics and quantum biology for over a decade now, and as an intuitive empath, I found that this was the key to being able to move forward with my evolution of self-realization. Up until that point, I was pretty lost with the overload of energy. It's so easy for us in less than a nanosecond as an empath to live in someone else's shoes and not even realize it. It gets overwhelming sometimes. So I just want to touch on a couple things before I pop off, because these will be short. I just wanted to touch upon the reality of our energetic being. That energy isn't static. For years aura pictures and all of that, the colors were there, but I didn't understand the movement of energy. And it's the spin of energy that gives the illusion of solidity. The contraction spin, which is clockwise, is what really holds energy into form. So we as humans associate the contraction clockwise energy with those feelings that are tight in the body that we call the feeling bad feelings. And then the expansion, the counterclockwise spin, or those of you in the British Kingdom world, it's anticlockwise. That's expansion. And we, in human consciousness, we associate that with feeling good feelings. So we primarily already are the feeling good feelings. That's the real crux of our identity. The contraction spin energy, which we associate with judgment and unworthiness and so on, believe it or not, it serves a purpose. Without contraction, there would be no shape or form. Energy would not hold together. The expansion would, there's enough expansion, enough contraction to create a balance. So I wanted to just lay that out and introduce you to this wonderful analogy that is used by Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is a well-known biophysicist. If you haven't heard of his work, I suggest it. He has a few really good books out there that he's written, or I should say several good books out there that he's written. And this analogy was that he used to explain the power of spin with energy, creating the illusion of form and solidity, is he talked about a tornado. And what is a tornado comprised of? It's air, right? It's the spinning of the air that gives it that sense of force and solidity. So for instance, if you were to attempt to drive an armored vehicle, a big truck, 100 miles an hour into a tornado, would you be able to drive through it? Or would you slam into it and be thrown back or spun out? So that kind of helps illustrate the power of spin. And spin is everywhere. We just maybe haven't noticed it, but it's the spin that gives our energy the illusion of solidness. And therefore, because everything is energy, if we can step back and begin to embrace that, then we can begin to see ourselves as being so much more than our physical self. Because I want to really highlight how in communication, when we are speaking to one another or in each other's presence, or even if we're not in the same room, we are still communicating energetically. We're communicating more energetically than we are with our words or body language. And taking ownership of that does empower us to be more productive with our communication. So again, everything is energy. And by taking ownership of that, then you're empowering yourself to utilize all of who you are. Because the physical part is just a little teeny bit, and that in itself is like an illusion in the sense that it's not really solid. So just a few thoughts. If you're watching, let me know. Pop on, make a comment. And if you watch this after, in the replay, let me know. And I would love, we're going to, in future episodes of EWB TV, we'll have interviews of other intuitive empaths who are on their journeys. And we'll also be talking about several different, sorry, I moved that out of the way. Several different topics all around the reality of who we are and the journey of remembering that reality and how that can change our lives. So please feel free to drop a line, and if you have something that you would like to be addressed on this channel, this EWB TV, if you are curious or if it's something you'd like to bring information about, let me know. I'd love to be able to expand this dialogue and supporting one another's journey of self-realization. Until next time, and by the way, we're going to be doing these shows every Monday in the afternoon between 2 and 4, depending on scheduling. And they're going to be available on YouTube at the Empowered Whole Being TV channel and on Facebook under Empowered Whole Being Foundation. And it's being broadcast through Twitter on Periscope, I believe. So available in several places. Let me know if you have any questions. Give me some feedback that you've watched it. I appreciate that. And we'll continue this conversation about energy, what it really is, or who we really are, and hopes that you will begin to tap into the greater power of who you are. Until I see you again next week, thank you for watching. And again, let me know if you have any questions or comments, and let's create dialogue and conversation. Thanks, and in gratitude. Bye for now.